Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to CaLiNixCrypto. Hope you're all doing great and welcome to this new video right here on Cardano. We're back again. I actually did not cover Cardano too long ago. I think I covered it right here somewhere last week, but I wanted to cover it again because we actually had some momentum coming in, as you can see right here, starting Sunday the 7th and ending so far Tuesday the 9th. Yesterday we had the FOMC meeting, we started to drop down, but there is something else going on with Cardano, which I found in the tape, in the order flow, which I think you need to know about. And generally, you can see we broke out, okay? We broke out above this level right here, around 45 cents, where we had the 30-day rolling VWAP. We had the 12-hour trend. We had a general key level right here at 45.5 cents. And we had the value area high at 44.3 cents. We broke above there. We broke above that with volume. But now you can see we are pushing down, but below that. So we'll talk about whether that's actually a fake out or whether we can still restore that breakout in some type of way. And I would say we can restore the breakout, but I have to add to that that the order flow is not looking amazing. I don't think this price action has anything to do with the FOMC meeting. When we're talking about Bitcoin specifically, I also don't think that this price action had anything to do with that. FOMC meeting was just as expected, and then we got some order flow shenanigans right here. Liquidation spike, move down lower, etc., etc. But okay, so it has nothing to do with that. However, what I do think it has something to do with is that we saw a lot of Cardano being deposited into Binance, potentially for selling, of course. And then some very strange shenanigans with the order flow. And that also makes me say it's unlikely we're going to recover this breakout. Technically, it's always a possibility, because technically, if Cardano or if a coin breaks out, and it falls back into the range that it broke out above, very often we can still find strong support at the point of control and bounce back up. And I think that's also a possibility. The point of control is sitting around 41.5 cents. So if we get a very strong reaction there and we're able to reclaim 45 cents, okay, then it is still a breakout, and that is a possibility. But the only way we can do that, I would say, is if we get a very bullish market, right? So if we get a very bullish market, is Cardano going to be the most interesting coin to buy when there's most likely going to be other altcoins that rally much more? So yes, then Cardano can save the breakout because the market is rallying, but it is not an interesting breakout. And the reason why I'm telling you that is this, okay? This is the order flow that we got in for Cardano over the course of the past 3 days. This is incredibly strange. And what it looks like, I mean, we had that announcement that like $5 million of Cardano, maybe even more to be fair, maybe 20, was deposited into Binance, and then some sort of a, some sort of algorithm kicked in, and you can see the open interest rising very quickly, both longs and shorts, but you can see it pumped the price up very efficiently from negative funding rates, and then we got some short liquidations, and it started to push the price up. Then it started to buy in shorts right here. It started to buy a lot of shorts. Then it started to buy longs again for the spot seller to sell off in. Because what you can see is that a lot of longs were opened, or shorts closed in this case, it looks like. But the price stayed the same. That's strange, okay? Shorts being closed should mean that the price is going up. The only way when it doesn't is if spot is being sold into that, which happened, and then you can see that those previous long orders were also being sold off with the CVD and the open interest dropping down. And that brought us to where we are right now. This just looks like some sort of an algorithm was kicked in to allow some sort of a major seller to sell off as much Cardano as they could at as good of a price as possible. Something like that is not sustainable. Something like that is not going to pump up the price again. Maybe if we see another deposit into Binance, it's a possibility. But for now, I think it's more likely that Cardano is going to find some support, fill some of the imbalances. But like I said, the only way we can break out again is if the market gets very bullish, which I don't expect today or tomorrow necessarily. So something like this is what I would say is most likely. And that also means that I think we're going to revisit the bottom of the range around 40 cents. And I do think we're going to hold that range until we see some sort of a market breakthrough and we can get a direction again. Those are my thoughts. Thank you for watching, everybody. Take care and bye.